Sunday night with the NBA here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. The Magic make a quick stop here in front of their Orlando fans just one game before heading out. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team. And not only a 1-1 split series between these two teams last year, guys, but both wins were on the road, so home court advantage wasn't that big an advantage.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their two meetings.
Yeah, these non-conference matchups are a good measuring stick for a team. Taking on less familiar opponents can tell you a lot.
Just 5 on the clock. And so the ball goes out of bounds. Isaac touched it last. Here's Lillard. Walked again. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. And it's Houston's ball. Although they were eliminated in the first round, last season was a success, Stan, for the Magic.
It sure was, Kevin. I don't think many people had them even making the playoffs, but they fought hard, pushed the Cavs to 7 games, and gained valuable playoff experience.
Now, here's George. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by Bam Adebayo.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
And Damian Lillard, good for the 3.
A downright lethal three-point threat. Lillard is someone defenders must stay attached to if they want to have any impact.
George with no one around. Drops in the tray.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
Lillard attacking. It's good. Lillard's got 5.
That first step of Lillard, deadly.
George looking over the floor. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. George has got his second bucket.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Now here's Lillard. He has 5. 16 feet away. Rebound by Alexander Walker.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Pass to Bamba. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Now, Alexander Walker. George with the ball. 4 on the shot clock. Isaac outside. No good from outside. And so Adebayo will bring it up for Orlando. Trailing by 2. Murray, no good. Outside, George. Pass to Alexander Walker. Now, Nembhard. George with the ball. George covering. George, no good. On offense, here are the Magic. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Orlando making a change here. first quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Screen by Wiggins. And Damian Lillard throws it down hard.
Is Dame trying to get in the dunk contest? Looked like it on that incredible finish.
And here's George for three.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Here's Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
Well, Adebayo usually has the advantage over other bigs when it's time to run.
Outside, George has to Bamba. To the wing right side. It's hauled in by the Magic.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Here's Murray. And Bamba pulls it down. The Rockets trail. And there's the call on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
And we've got a timeout called by Jamal Mosley. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Orlando with the ball. Here's Lillard. 7 points in the game. To the wing on the left. And here's Adebayo outside. Nailed from three-point land.
Well, his shot has come such a long way, and now it's a big part of Bam's repertoire.
And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about. The Rockets making a switch here. Rockets trail by 5. GA, if you look back at the Rockets' history, so many all-time greats have spent time there.
Yeah, it's an impressive list, right? Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Calvin Murphy, and Harden. Houston's well represented in the Hall of Fame.
And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. So both teams making some changes here. 1:53 left to play in the first quarter. Outside for George. 6 on the shot clock to stop the run. And George with the stuff.
And he may be in his 30s, but Paul George still has got a lot of bounce.
Adebayo the screen. Shoots over Isaac. The shot by Adebayo, no good.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
Now here's Lillard. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Lillard attacking. Oh, wow, what a great move inside.
That is incredible.
Yeah, Lillard has those ups. He can get to the rim when he wants to.
Now here's George. He's got 7. Another shot. Alexander Walker on the wing. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
The Rockets shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
And so, Alexander Walker nails both of them. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Pass to Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
Well, that's textbook pick-and-roll basketball. Adebayo just taking what the defense gives him.
There's the screen to the inside. And it's George finishing it off.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Lillard with it. Launches from deep. Unable to get that one. He can't get that one. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Magic lead by 3. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Magic.
Well, a lot of times you'll hear coaches yell, get the ball inside, and you can see why. Good things happen when you get the ball into the paint.
And something else that I liked is how they attack the paint, finding ways to get inside and capitalize time and time again.
Now Lillard, after Zion Williamson missed from long range. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Greg, one of the best assets of Zion Williamson is his versatility.
And the combination of power and skill, it's obviously unique. And what I love about him is he's making better and better decisions. He's become as reliable as he is explosive.
Working his way from scout to head coach, Jamal Mosley was a longtime assistant under Rick Carlisle. He has paid his dues, Coach.
Yeah, and Kevin, I really admire the guys that put in the time, as you say, pay their dues, and get themselves ready for when they get the opportunity. There's a lot of outstanding younger coaches in this league, and Jamal Mosley's as good as any of them.
Yep, I would agree. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Rockets are making progress. Coach Ime Udoka said it doesn't happen overnight. Changing habits and things like that takes time. Guys learn and grow at a different pace. My thing is getting us all on the same page. We're not that far off. Kevin, they sure look like they're building in the right direction.
David, they are, and some good vets have helped as well. And we thank you for that report. And so quickly, we'll bring it up for the Magic. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Outside for Robinson. Here's Kirilenko, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. Kirilenko's got his first points in this one. Westbrook surveying the D, and finished off by Westbrook.
And there's the ferociousness. Got to enjoy Westbrook taking flight and slamming it down there with authority.
Quickly with a wide open look. Robinson. Rockets with the rebound. Here's Williamson. Plays it up and banks it in.
Well, to Zion, a little bit of contact is nothing. I'm not even sure he feels it.
Here's the screen. Out to Kirilenko. Jacks up a three. Zion Williamson grabs the miss. Houston in the lead. Well, Greg, I'm sure their coach is very pleased with their offensive flow right now.
I mean, it's harder than it looks to get it going like this. Now they just have to maintain it.
Now Wiggins, after Westbrook's missed three. Orlando moving the ball around. Offensive rebound. And finished off by Robinson. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Pass to Williamson. Over Kirilenko. And it's Williamson missing. On offense, here are the Magic. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Quickly with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. For the 3. Highsmith grabs the miss. The Rockets trail. Williamson outside. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Now here's Williamson. And Stan, we seem to be in the midst of a big man renaissance in the NBA. And I personally love it. So that being said, which of these big stars do you like the most?
Well, that's a tough question because there's so much talent and they're all different. You've got Embiid, who is unstoppable offensively. You've got Wembanyama with his combination of size and length, skill and agility. You've got guys who can shoot the ball. But the guy that combines the most of those things that I would take, Nikola Jokic.
Guys, 7 times the lead has changed hands here now.
Yeah, and that number should easily top double figures before it's over.
Now here's Westbrook. With the drive. He tries for 3. And that's good. Zion Williamson for 3. Williamson's got 9.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Here's Quickly. And he converts the layup. Quickly's got a second bucket tonight.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Well, this is why the fans are here. Each team trading blows, increasing the entertainment value.
Goodness, I mean, we feel those Zion dunks shake the floor.
Out to Kirilenko. Pass to Robinson. Now, here's Quickly. He has 5. Collins with some nice D.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Orlando trailing here. To the middle. Here's Robinson. Wiggins surveying the floor. Some solid defense from Grant. So it's the Rockets now. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
And getting points inside important for Grant. Allows him to get a little bit of extra room on the perimeter when he needs it.
And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. He wants to talk to his guys.
Get ready, everyone. You see yourself on the screen, and you show us your best.
Houston with a big group substitution here. The Magic trailed by 3. Paul George with the steal. On the wing, Isaac. Williamson outside. Driving to the basket. 3 on the clock. Here's Nemo. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here's Lillard. 11 points in the game. Over to the left wing. No one near Adebayo as he lets it go. No good, and he's 3 of 6 from the floor. Pass to George. Williamson outside. Here's Isaac. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Here's Lillard. Isaac with the steal. Outside, George. It'll count. And so, guys, it's Zion Williamson making things happen for the Rockets. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Here's Lillard. The Rockets pull it in. And George, here we go. Over Kirilenko. Nails the baby hook. George has got the lead up to 7 now for the Rockets.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Over in the corner, Kirilenko buries it from three-point range. Kirilenko's got 5.
And you see the leadership of Lillard in that sequence, keeping everyone involved, not looking to do it all himself, but creating for his teammates.
About 1 minute played here in the second half. Driving inside. And Lillard throws it down.
Some nights, Lillard can just keep going and going.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Bam Adebayo talked about how his mentality has evolved over his career. He said, shoot the ball. I feel like that's been my evolution. It sounds very simple, but I came into this league as a defender. I feel like the progression's been shoot the ball, worry about everything else later. Kevin?
He certainly, DA, is a two-way threat. Here's Lillard, and then Lillard slams it in.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
Well, it's always a big plus when you have a point guard that can attack the rim like that. Puts so much pressure on the defense.
Now here's Williamson. 11 points in the game. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Left side, George. Another miss by Houston.
Well, if you give him that shot again, I'm willing to bet he nails it, especially with that lack of defensive effort.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And Stan, while in New Orleans, you had a chance to coach Zion Williamson. Now, I've heard you talk about him before, but what's something special about Zion that maybe the average fan doesn't see?
Well, Kevin, that's a great question because I think what happens a lot of times with Zion, his athleticism is so exceptional that it's hard not to watch and focus on that. But Zion is both very, very smart and a very unselfish player. Nothing makes him happier than an assist to a teammate.
That's a terrific assessment. And here's George for 3. That shot is in, just like 6 others have been for him. He's shooting 7 for 15. And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Now here's Lillard. 17 points in the game. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. And a missed late. Rockets leading by 5. And there's the call on Lou George. That's his first foul. And here are the Rockets now. Alexander Walker up top. Shot clock at 5. Short. And such a nice move to make the basket work. Now it's a 7-point Rocket lead.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with this guy. Houston making a switch. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Here is Lillard. Puts the move on. And Bamba pulls it down.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Pass to George. Fires the 3. It's Adebayo with the rebound.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The Magic again can't hit.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for them that time.
The 3 from George. And the dunk by Bamba.
Yeah, and this is something Bamba does so well. An unbelievable recognition and timing to come up with offensive rebounds.
And there's the call on Zion Williamson. That is his first foul of the game. Now Adebayo. 7 points in the game.
And he just takes pleasure in shutting his man down. I love seeing Bamba work this hard on that end of the floor.
And it goes down 2 points.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
Deep Adebayo. The Magic again can't hit. Williamson with it. Now defended by Adebayo. Back to Williamson. Outside, George. Wiggins with the block.
His length gives Wiggins an advantage on the D. He can get his hand to shots that a lot of other players would not be able to impact.
Greg, what a great time to be a fan of basketball. Not just in the NBA, but all over the world.
Absolutely, Kevin. The sport just continues to grow, and there's increased value being placed on all-around skill, even in youth basketball. And I think that bodes well for the future of the game.
Now here's Williamson. 12 points for him. And Westbrook gets it to go.
Westbrook is so much more difficult to defend when that 3 ball is going down.
Here's Lillard. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Lillard's got 10 points in the quarter.
Well, there's no question he's carrying the load in this quarter, but he's going to need some help.
Kicks it out to Williamson. Four on the clock. That one falls. Williamson's got the lead up to 12 now for the Rockets.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And we've got a timeout called by Jamal Mosley. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. He's ready to talk things through with the team. And timeout is called by Ime Udoka. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. And timeout is called by Ime Udoka. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over.
Everybody get down. Next answer. Let's hear it for all the dancers. Substitution on the board.
And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Orlando Magic. A 12-point game. Pass to Wiggins. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. They get Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, you never want to foul Dame in the act. He's almost automatic from the line.
And both free throws good for Damian Lillard.
Well, we're seeing a different version of him in this half, taking a more direct approach. He didn't have a single free throw in the first half.
Now, here's George. He's got 21. Here's Williamson. That falls. Nice speed that time from George.
Assisted by
16 points for Zion Williamson.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain it.
And Damian Lillard with the jam.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard with that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Pass to Williamson. 6 to shoot. Yep, that one goes in there. Williamson's got the lead up to 12 now for the Rockets.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome.
the Rockets, 56.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Rockets leading by 12. Inside. Left side, George. Over Wiggins. George, no good. Wiggins, right side. And Wiggins throws it down.
And how about the slam from Wiggins, showing off some of that athleticism there.
Outside, George. Pass to Nembhard. From deep. Rebound by the Magic. Here's quickly. Puts it up from 17. Here's Robinson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on George.
You know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Robinson hits them both.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Isaac, a screen. Williamson looking it over. Outside, George. Shot clock at 6. And yes, it's good. George has got 14 points here in the second half.
Just devastating. George making it look easy with that move.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. In a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Houston.
Well, they've been owning the painted area offensively. I love the intensity they're playing with down there.
They took what the defense gave them tonight, and that was the mid-range. I mean, very consistent from that part of the floor.
Here's George. Over in the corner, Isaac. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
And there's the drive. The shot's good from Quickly.
Able to get a layup out of that one. That's just soft defense there.
At the top of the key, Nembhard. That's to Williamson. There's a good screen. Alexander Walker up top. George with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. George, no good.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him. Keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half. And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
George misses.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
On the wing, George. Here he goes. Good work there as it goes. George has got 4 points this quarter.
And we know George can score from all 3 levels, which is why he's capable of catching fire.
There's the pick. Three-pointer, Lillard. Drains the three-pointer.
Yeah, it's only his second 3 of the night. If he's going to heat up, the second half is a great time to do it.
And there's the call on Lou Dort. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Coming on the floor for your Magic, number 13.
Nembhard with it.
Bam Adebayo.
Pass to George. Shoots the 3. It's good from long range. George has got 28.
Well, he's been more confident shooting it since the half. Let's see if that trend continues.
Here's Lillard, and he lays it straight in.
Well, sometimes you tell players you can have a good game in a loss. You've just got to keep doing what you're doing, and the rest of us have to figure it out.
No one near Isaac as he lets it go. And another 3 for Houston.
And he's got a quiet confidence about him, doesn't he, guys? I mean, he's thinking about shooting the ball as the pass is coming.
Adebayo with the bucket.
Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense.
And timeout is called by Ime Udoka. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. And the Rockets making a change here. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, during that last break, I heard Ime Udoka as he talked with the team. He told his players, I love the energy right now. You look like you're having fun out there. Keep playing for each other because our chemistry looks great right now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. That's a shot he doesn't shoot very often. Williamson's got 10 points in just the second half. Stan, you've been on the bench in the NBA for many decades. What were some of your biggest pet peeves as a coach?
Oh, my gosh, that would be a long list. But the 2 biggest would be this. I think, number 1, anytime there was a lack of effort, not running back on defense, things like that. That I had a hard time tolerating. And then mental breakdowns, things we had prepared for over and over and over again. And then guys just zone out and forget what they're supposed to do. Those are things that were hard to tolerate.
especially when you would take such care in preparing them in every way. It's got to be just excruciating.
Frustrating as heck.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Dort covering. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. Pass to George. 5 to shoot. To the paint. Here's Isaac. Kicks it out to Williamson. They set the pick. Houston needs to get a shot off. Here's George. And no good. Wiggins with some nice D. The Magic trailed by 9. Adebayo drives in. Right side, Dort. Pass to Adebayo. Beyond the arc. Knocks down the 3-ball.
Yeah, with the game on the line. Adebayo wants the ball, and he delivers.
Outside, George. On the wing, Isaac. Kicks it out to Williamson. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own.
Yeah, and when you're hit, you gotta hit back.
A bit of a duel going on between them. Came down the floor looking for immediate payback.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
27 seconds left in the game. George, no good. And so it's Dort with it. He brings it up for the Magic. Lillard with no one around. No good on the 3. Now, here's George.
Magic foul. Begins third personal foul.
He hits the first one, and that stretches their lead to 8. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 9-point ball game here.
No doubt, that just about seals it.
So we see the Rockets get the win here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch.
Therapy, she got it a lot on her chest. I'm in Jamaica, Oracle.